Hello everyone, today we're going to be discussing a mysterious and unsolved case from the 1940s, known as the case of Mary Reeser. This case has been called one of the strangest and most bizarre disappearances in history and has left many questions unanswered. On July 2, 1951, in St. Petersburg, Florida, Mary Hardy Reeser was visited by her son, Dr. Richard Reeser, in her apartment. Mary had told her son that she had taken 2 mild sedatives that were mainly used to calm patients before surgery. She had also told him she was planning to take 2 more before bed. Later that night, she would fall asleep in an upholstered chair for the last time as she would become the victim of an apparent house fire. The next morning, Mary's landlord would report smelling smoke around 5 a.m. But it wasn't until 8 a.m. when she went to go deliver a telegraph to Mary that she would smell the smoke again. She discovered soot in the hallway and the doorknob leading to Mary's apartment was too hot to grab, so she enlisted the help of nearby house painters to get into the apartment. What they found inside the apartment was truly horrifying. They found the remains of Mary Reeser. Her skull, apparently, was shrunk to the size of a cup, and parts of her spine also remained. But the most terrifying was Mary's left foot was found still in its black satin slipper, the skin unburned. The rest of her remains had been completely cremated. What makes this case odd was the environment of her surroundings. In order for a body to be cremated, the body must burn at 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit for 3 to 4 hours. Yet, somehow, the surrounding area of her chair and the rest of her apartment were relatively unaffected. The walls had no burn marks and showed no signs of scorching or burned paint. Light switches were melted but outlets were still completely functional. Candlesticks had melted but their wicks stood upright and a stack of newspapers close to the chair was undamaged. Mary's neighbors were also unaware of the fire. The investigation into Mary Reeser's death was extensive and thorough, but unfortunately, it was unable to determine a definitive cause. The police conducted a number of interviews with Mary's neighbors and friends but were unable to find any evidence of foul play or a struggle. Forensic examination of the scene revealed that the fire was extremely intense and had reached temperatures of up to 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Despite this, the surrounding walls and furniture were only slightly charred, which led the police to believe that the fire was highly localized and that it had been burning for some time before being noticed. The police also found no traces of accelerants or chemicals that could have caused such a fire, which ruled out the possibility of arson. However, the fact that the door was locked from the inside, and that the fire was so intense, led some people to believe that an arsonist had set the fire and then escaped through the window. The only physical evidence that remained was the ash stain on the floor, Mary's left foot and slipper, and a partially melted metal substance that was later identified as a metal spring from her chair. The rest of Mary's body and her clothing had completely disintegrated. One of the most popular theories is that Mary Reeser suffered from spontaneous human combustion. This is a rare and controversial phenomenon in which a human body catches fire without an external ignition source. This theory suggests that Mary's body simply spontaneously combusted for no apparent reason. Another theory is that the fire was caused by arson. Some people believe that Mary was murdered and that the fire was set to cover up the crime. However, there was no evidence of foul play or a struggle found at the scene, and the fire was so intense that it would have been difficult for an arsonist to escape without being noticed. Finally, there are those who believe that Mary Reeser's death was caused by supernatural forces. Some people believe that she was the victim of a haunting or a demonic possession. While this theory is the most dramatic and intriguing, there is no scientific evidence to support it. The case of Mary Reeser remains one of the most mysterious and unexplained disappearances in history. Despite numerous investigations and theories, the true cause of her death remains unknown. Whether it was spontaneous human combustion, arson, or something more supernatural, the case of Mary Reeser will continue to be a subject of fascination for years to come. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.